Let's consider other sources for our data to construct our corpus. Well, one of them is we could have used the website Reddit. For those who are unfamiliar with Reddit, different topics are organized as subreddits. You consider these as forums. So we go into Reddit, type in Python. I notice there's one called Python. Let's see what it's talking about. So this is a subreddit called Python. And these are all different topics, different posts regarding the Python programming language. So this is great because one of the things when working with natural language processing, specifically supervised applications, we need corpus, we need our documents, but we also need labels for these documents. It'd be very annoying if I go through each document and assess what is a label for the document. So it's nice that we can automatically know the labels for our documents. So here, the assumption is that all the posts, all these posts that people have for this subreddit called Python refer to Python, the programming language. Now let's see if there's other ones. Let's type in Python, because I want ones for Python the animal. And let's see if I can find anything about that. So this is searching into the subreddit of Python. I want to search, go back here, and let's see a lot of things about computers. Ball Python. Let's see what that subreddit is all about. And if we look at this subreddit, we notice that these posts for this subreddit, for this forum, are going to refer to Python the animal. So all the posts that we get from here, I can automatically know what the label is going to be. It's going to refer to the animal. So I can use Reddit as another source of data for my word usage classifier. Now, the question is, how can I easily get this data? I don't want to have to copy and paste. I don't want to create some sort of web scraper to get this data. But luckily for us, there is a nice Reddit API called Prawl. So this is a wrapper, a Python wrapper for the Reddit API. You'd have to install this package. It's not part of your environment at the moment, but you could install it and you can look at the tutorials and it'll tell you how you can easily access and pull out all this Reddit data, all these posts. So this could be another source of data we could use to try out. So if you're interested, you can play around with this and see how well using this corpus would perform. For this last question here, we're essentially asking what are the most important features in our data set. Another way to look at it for the naive Bayes models is what word, when it occurs in a document, tends to occur in a particular type of document. In other words, for a word like snake, when it does appear, we understand that it's going to be a high probability that if it appears in a document, it's going to refer to the word usage of Python the animal. And that's what naive Bayes is classifying. Naive Bayes is classifying these conditional probabilities. It's going to figure out for each feature that we have, in this case words or bigrams, whatever we're counting, the probability of encountering a word like snake, given that it's in a document referring to the animal. So it's going to calculate these probabilities. It will also count the other situation in which we encounter the word snake if we're referring to Python, the language. So this probability will be very large, we understand. And this one, on the second one, will be very small. So what we could do is we can figure out what is the log of the ratio of these two probabilities. So what is the probability of encountering the word animal if the document uses the word Python? Sorry, what is the probability of encountering the word snake if the document refers to Python the animal, over the probability of encountering the word snake given that the document is for the language. And we can take the log of this ratio, and this can give us a metric. And the bigger the magnitude, sorry, the bigger the value is for this ratio, that means that that word is very discriminative, has a lot of predictive ability. Since when it does appear, it tends to primarily appear for the documents referring to Python the animal. And I can repeat it for all the features I have, generate these scores, so it has a very large score, or large value for this ratio, then that's a very discriminative towards the one end, one of the classes, Python the animal. If the value of this ratio is a very large negative number, that means the probability on top is very small and the probability on the bottom is very large. So it's discriminative towards the other end. When it does appear, it tends to refer to, or tends to be in documents for Python, the programming language. Now I won't go through the exact exercise for this last one because we're going to ask a very similar question for the mini project. But here, with our naive Bayes model, we can look at the coef attribute to pull out these probability terms. So I encourage you to look at the documentation, understand the parameters we have to use, and go about figuring out the most discriminative words.